The questions are still being asked about what motivated thousands to take part in those acts of looting, arson and vandalism earlier in the week.
What we found out today gives us much more detail as to how the riots touched nearly every part of London. It shows that everywhere except for Richmond and the City of London was hit by some level of riot-related crime. And who was behind the rioting and the looting? Well, 93% of those arrested over the Troubles had either been arrested or convicted before. And in London, 19% had known links to gangs. That's somewhat lower than the figures we were initially told. Those involved in the riots came from poorer backgrounds. A third of the young people involved had been excluded from school. Only 1 in 10 of them had done well in their exams. Today's figures also give us a clearer picture of who was on the streets at the start of August. 71% of those arrested were 24 years old or younger. And overwhelmingly, those accused of riot-related crimes are males, 88% in fact. And when it comes to race statistics, this is what the figures show us. They show us 32% of those arrested were white and 47% were black. The government today rejected criticism that its cuts had a part to play in the disturbances. The riots, they say, were simply down to criminality.
The London riots, I think that it was good in a way and it was bad in a way. Obviously a lot of businesses and a lot of people's belongings, they got trashed, but in a good way it showed that the society can come together in it and they can actually do something if they really want it to. Like, obviously I understand that the rioting didn't benefit any of us, but it might have benefited some of us, it might have not benefited some. But it hasn't benefited us like now recently, because everyone's just saying they just look at you in a different way. After the riots, they just think like any old person you see walking past, they would grab their handbag and think, oh, I better hold my handbag very tight, or just gave them a bit more of an excuse just to like have a go at us.
I think it was criminality, like the majority of it, but then I think at the same time, it's revenge, and it's a reason for everyone to outburst. Because a lot of people are angry with just the way their lives are in the country in general. I don't know what everyone else's reasons are, but a lot of people don't have the things that they want, and it's hard for them to get the things that they want. They should work for the things they want, but if you can't work, what can you do? I think the majority of people that when they start looking for jobs, everyone tries hard, and then it must get to the point where if you don't have that luck, then what are you supposed to do? You're going to turn away to whatever else you can do to get money in your pocket, because you ain't got all day to be looking for jobs. If you're looking for jobs all day, you're just going to be starving.
Like, I do a bit of work at the markets, selling Ralph Lauren stuff, do a bit of work at the marquees on a Saturday and Sunday, just anything to pass my time, just to keep me busy throughout the week, otherwise you're just sitting at home doing nothing. I think people did it for a reason, innit? Because like, they're just fed up of not going to work. Obviously if you've got a job you can go out and buy the things. If you ain't got no work, you're going to go out and get it anyway how you can.
People are so-called frustrated with how they've been treated, you know what I mean? So something like that was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen that big, that nationwide. I knew something was going to happen, because it's just a fight back against the oppressor. People are passionate, people are zealous, but they directed it to the wrong area. If you have a problem with the government, don't burn down people's houses or shops. Go and protest outside Parliament, you know what I mean? These big corporations have billions and millions of pounds and dollars or whatever, and the price that they are selling things compared to how much it costs to produce them is not fair. Apparently to make a pair of Air Forces, it's less than £1, but to buy them is over £50, you know what I mean? So is that justified? The people in power need to acknowledge the people, the poorer people, the lesser people in society. You know, obviously society can't be fair, everyone can't be rich, but you know what I mean? Give us some leeway, innit?
The government definitely designed the system this way. It's set up so that they can be rich, and they need people to be poor in order for them to be rich. So they need things to be this way, and if they need anything else, they're just going to change it.
Yeah, the government definitely designed the system this way. They definitely have, for instance, like job centre and all this stuff. The job centre is a place where they keep you there to try and find you employment. But if there's no job there, so how are you gonna go and be employed? Can't really find employment out there, especially if you're going to the job centre and they ask for a previous reference. You say, "I was job seeking for the last 6 months." You're not really gonna find any. No one's really gonna wanna say, "Yeah, I'll employ you." Like if they done like work trials, like voluntary work where people go out and work and show them that I can do this job. Just put your trust in me and see that I can do the work. And if I can't do the work, then I'll go. But if I can do the work, then what's the problem?
And if it's spreading there and everyone's saying, yo, they're getting some free shit in London, I'm going to try and get some free stuff. Wherever I am, if I can cause a big enough riot and get away with it, get a new free TV, free whatever. Everyone wants free stuff, especially if you're broke.
A lot of people must have seen on the news that people are going out there and I haven't got a job, he hasn't got a job, and he's just got a new TV for no reason. So why can't I go out there and go and get a TV for no reason?
If you grew up in the area that I grew up, a lot of the people there don't really acknowledge the police. They see them as an enemy rather than as their help. The society that I grew up in was less privileged, and you could say crime was more rampant. Hence the reason why the police decided to come with that tactic of bullying. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, the excuse will be that they're doing their job to crack crime, and that is their job. So I would say, to an extent, they are effective, but there are greater things out there to tackle than little things here and there. Stereotyping people and harassing people for no reason, then it's cool. It's like having a problem with your parent. You can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? The only thing you can do is be a rebel, which will get you into more trouble. So that's why you got a lot of people behaving the way they're behaving, because if the law, which is supposed to help you, is hurting you, then where do you go? Society is big, you know what I mean? You get people from different class systems already, which already divide up the society. And within your society, or the class that you're in, you get other things that break you up, like the country you're from, the gender you are, where you live, which also breaks you apart from the society, within the society that you claim or you are associated with.
There's a lot more dangerous people out there. Like there's boys that carry knives, there's people that carry guns. Like drugs, at the end of the day, the government know that the drugs make the world go round. At the end of the day, it's tax-free money. Everyone who's asked for tax-free money, that's the way forward. Obviously, you're not paying taxes to no person who's governing you. You're not looking, or it's just basically like drugs. Drugs makes the world go round. And I think that they waste a lot of time on just looking at other young people and targeting young people. Obviously, I understand that the young people are the next generation, so they want to try and put them in the right path, but the way that they try and do it, like, it doesn't really work that way. Saying to people, oh, children this, children that, youth this, youth that, thugs this, thugs that. But the only person that's making that person is a thug is the government. Because at the end of the day, if you was born in Chigwell or you was born in a well brought up society, like, for instance, I live in East London and it's not very nice here. But if you was born in a nice country, like a nice area like central London where there's a lot going on, you see a lot of things and you think, yeah, this is what I want to do, that's what I want to do. You'd actually think, yeah, actually one day I want to be sitting in that office. But if you're just walking around your street, looking at houses, looking at shops, you're thinking, that's the path that I'm going to go, that's what that man's doing. So I think that's his life looks alright, so I want to go in that path. If you see a drug dealer and he's got a lot of money, you're going to think that's the right path for me. I want that life as well. But I think honestly, if you just work for your money, is the best way, innit?
Since the early hours of Friday morning, my overriding concern has been to provide this country with good, strong, stable government that is in the national interest.